All right, and a pleasant good morning to everyone from Tony'sPicks.com, and welcome to Night Moves here for Wednesday, February 25th. Wow, we're moving along here. I feel a little uh, lost here, Stacks, in the middle of the night without any Olympics now. What am I going to? Well, don't answer what I'm going to do with myself here in the middle of the night. We'll be capping, is what we're going to be doing. Hi, Justin.
How are you?
Oh, great, man, great. Yeah, I'm gonna be missing the Olympics here in the middle of the night. We've got some tennis action going on for me, I guess. While I'm a night owl, love to be capping all night. And thanks for joining us, everybody, here on Night Moves. We're gonna preview the action here for Wednesday. We're back, Justin, on the ice tonight. You and I will cover some basketball. Then I'm gonna get back into hockey because we're back. We celebrated. We saw the men's hockey team out there with the president. I was glad to see everybody. It was a bipartisan standing ovation for the United States men's hockey team. Justin, I wish the women would have realized that it's not about, why not go and get a standing ovation from the nation's top lawmakers? It sounds like a prideful thing to do. I won't draw you into this.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm not. I'm pretty sure we all know why they didn't go. So
I know, but still, we want to honor you. We want to give you a standing ovation. The whole country wants to acknowledge how great you are, the ladies and the men champions there. Well, Justin, it was a good night of NBA action. A little rough for me here on the show last night, but I did pick up a few winners here last night, and there were some important games going on as well here last night. In fact, we saw some upsets too in the NBA. Lakers went down to Orlando. I had a winner on the premium end with Portland Trailblazers, but I could only bring a couple of winners home here last night. Philadelphia over Indiana. Had the Pelicans over the Warriors. I had the Hornets over the Bulls, and Celtics Suns under. Justin, it looks like the tankathon, we know it's on, but you might as well just put the gas pedal down, it feels like, and go against those bottom 5 or 6 teams, no matter what the spreads it looks like right now. It seems like the decent teams, maybe the playoff-bound teams, are smashing them.
Yeah, a lot of people not happy with the tanking, and my thing is, what can we do about it? Serious, what's going to happen? It's always going to keep happening more and more, and they're going to pay the fines and keep doing it. But
yeah,
my thing is just find an angle that'll benefit you. Now you going into it, when they're tanking, so bet accordingly. That's all.
Well, it seemed like what Carlisle was saying of the Pacers. He said, because they got fined severely. But he kind of said, you put us in this position. And the NBA, the kind of the structure of, I don't know, maybe just been pointing the blame, but basically was saying, hey, we have to tank to keep up with the big money teams. And we got to get these other players somehow. So I'm not going to grind on them too much here. But again, we're going to have to go through this for another, basically 20 plus games for some of these teams. So a lot of people want to kick the games to the curb like I do when they play each other, but it does look like the favored teams are going up a little bit. About some of the action last night, man, Baylor led at halftime. They kind of gave Arizona a scare, but Arizona was able to come back and get that win without their star freshman. We saw St. Louis lose there as well last night. And Missouri, I had some good picks college-wise here on the show last night. I took Missouri in their game last night. Also had Oklahoma against Auburn. Some of these home teams, they're also under USC and UCLA, Virginia to rock NC State, and I had Oak State as well. Any college games that catch your eye on Tuesday night?
No, I just thought there was a lot of good games that came on, and like it was that's just like you said, there was a lot of dogs like Oklahoma. I really liked Oklahoma. I really liked the Hurricanes. I thought they was in a good spot. It wasn't just not off the top of my head. And that Hurricanes all day, I almost didn't get after it because the line was throwing me off. Like it was 2.5, and they really didn't move all day. So,
Yeah,
but I stuck with it, and I liked the Hurricanes, so got on them. But uh,
yeah. Florida State.
Missouri at home is a problem.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thanks to everybody. Hello to everyone in the chat tonight joining us. We're going to preview the NBA and college games here. We got Tim M joining us today, Mr. Weskers, Jermaine's in the chat, Teflon Don, and I want to say hello, welcome to Mark Houston. What is up, Mark? Thank you for joining us here. Members of the chat pros here tonight. We're going to talk some basketball here with Justin and preview the card here for the NBA. We got a 6-game. Is it 6 or 7? Well, we got 6-game card in the NBA. Justin and I picked 5 college games, and then I'm going to come back with 8 NHL games as we start the drive here in the late part of the season. I think hockey will benefit from the great Olympics. Everybody will be fired up about that. All right. Justin, that's about it for me. Let's get into it here and get our chat members going as well with some of their picks and previews. We invite you guys to comment with us in the chat. But first, I'm going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at the handicapper leaderboards, see who's hot over at Tony's Picks for the card here on Tuesday. Justin, I'm kicking myself a little bit. A few losers out there, but I'm going to come back strong here on Wednesday. But let's acknowledge all of our fellow cappers that had a good day over at Tony's Picks and tell you what we're up to. Justin and I for Wednesday, Damian Sosh. Perfect 6-0. There's Mills Young. 3-0. Great job, Millsy. Tony T, 3-1, bringing it home for Mr. T. Nick Lagaretto's 5-3. Chris Adkins 1-0. Bo Dunn 1-0. And the VIP count 1-0. I'm up there for the last week on top of the handicapper leaderboards, 9.5 units. Vegas Al, you see his show right before ours, up 5.25 units over the last week. And some other names in there, Shane Mickle, Joey Tron, Hollywood Sam, DeAndre Stevenson's up there as well. Some other guys hot here over the last week. Over the last month, you got Stephen Duncan here. We're ready to go with Steve, ready for the second half of the season. So join us over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the All Cappers tab. Find the handicapper of your choice, and that's how you get signed up. Justin, NBA, college basketball. We're going to preview some games right now, but what are you looking forward to here on Wednesday?
Yeah, I like both slates. Actually, I like the college. I know for sure I'm going to have a 3-pack in college. And I'm definitely going to have a best bet in NBA. Looking at another game and another side in the NBA. I'm not sure yet. Excuse me, a couple of the lines that moved against me, so we'll see. Actually, one line moved against me and one moved away from me, but in my favor. So we'll see what it is. I didn't want to. I already got them loaded. I just got to submit them and put them up. I didn't want to do it before the show.
Check out Justin. Grab a 3-day, 7-day all sports pass. You can follow him. Pair me up with Justin as well, and use the handicapper promotion 2-for-1 handicapper pass in there. And Justin, I'll bring you some winners here this week. All right. Let's get to it here right now, my friend, and talk a little NBA basketball here for Wednesday night. And like I said, I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Mark as well, join us. Cal Dog in there, and you guys can make your picks as Justin and I go along here with this card. And let's start it off with a good one here, Justin. And we'll see right now with Oklahoma City here taking on Detroit right now. Maybe Detroit had their hat handed back to them a little bit. Said, "Hey, maybe get maybe a little bit more seasoning here for Detroit after they were handed that defeat last time out by the Spurs, but they get the chance at the other West leader here at home. Does feel a little bit different here with the Thunder still banged up. It felt like the Spurs, Justin, are just kind of on a roll, so they went in there and they kind of told Detroit maybe not just yet for these Eastern Conference teams, but the Thunder is going to still be a little bit banged up here. Have you put the Spurs ahead of the Thunder yet? Does it relate to this game at all as far as playing this team back to back, or maybe we just wait for the Thunder to get SGA back?
No, I think this Thunder team, like it seemed like even though like the squad don't be together, SGA is not there, and it just seems like it's still business as usual. Like next man up. Like they came back, they was down tonight or last night, depending on where you're at. It's 3 a.m. here, so last night for me, they was down to the Raptors and came back. So now they got a little travel from Toronto to Detroit. They're 1-8 on the second leg of a back to back. But the Pistons, they're coming off a loss to the San Antonio Spurs. So the Pistons are 9-4 ATS off a loss. So the problem is I'm still gonna stick with them. I liked the under, but it's going up. So if you like the under, then I would say wait. But I'll be on the Pistons. I actually bet it at 5.5. I see it's now 6.5, but I still endorse it. It's just Pistons off a loss. Chet Holmgren was questionable going into the night's game, and now he played like 20 high 20 minutes, almost 30 minutes. So I think with this number, if you get it now, I think you're still gonna get some value because it's gonna go up, especially once we see who's gonna sit out for OKC. So I'll be on the Pistons.
I'm already moving it up to 7 on the graphic, and I'm even showing an 8 right now at some square books offshore. But the sharp book here in Vegas is still at 7, but also seeing some 7.5s with short juice at DK right now. So it does look like the Pistons are, taking this early money. You've got to be steaming a little bit. I think it was a kind of a thing where, hey, the Spurs, maybe I was just bitter because I thought the Pistons could handle the Spurs or at least give them a tough battle and saying, hey, we've arrived here. Cade Cunningham a chance to make his mark against a potential MVP in Wemby. Here we know that SGA is still leading the MVP chase, but it just seems like Cunningham is really evolved into a super. We know he's a superstar player, but yeah, SGA out, AJ Mitchell questionable, guard Jalen Williams out here, Isaiah Stewart is still out with that suspension here. You mentioned the under. I think that's what I'll do then. I kind of been siding with you though here. I think this is the right spot for the Pistons. You see the line moving in there. Not in their favor, but kind of in their favor, like you said. I think it opened as low as 5.5 or 6 here, and we've only gone up. So I think I'll probably end up with the under. I know both teams are hot, but 7-8 points, that's going to be significant given OKC's current form. And yeah, Detroit's inconsistent head-to-head history against these guys, but OKC is 4-8 against the spread last 6 years against Detroit. So I'm going to end up on the under. I think OKC's recent overs clash with the strong when we've seen these guys meet, it's been lower scoring. So I'm gonna agree with you there. Take the under in this. So I'll do it, even though you said to wait. I can't have that luxury here, Justin. I gotta make the pick right now. So I'll go with the under. Maybe get a better number here. I am showing some 218.5s already out there. Let's see what the chat had to say with this one.
And, it just seemed like a little scheduled loss for OKC. I just think they're gonna. By the time game starts, by the time people watch this, I just think the news will come out that OKC gonna punt.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Cal Dog says he's mad. Oh, he says the Pistons are mad. I thought he was telling them to get out of here. But yeah, no doubt Thunder worked pretty hard in that game last night. I actually thought it was an okay spot for Toronto there, but Thunder did a great job, and now they'll have to come in, obviously, like you said, here on the back-to-back and take on a Pistons teams that will be steaming a little bit. Okay, let's go here to our next contest. Justin, speaking of back-to-back here, we did see the Warriors there Obviously, in action there last night in their game against the Pelicans. They used a lot of energy. I'll say that because they were battling pretty hard there. But I had the Pelicans on the show last night, and they did come through in the game. So the Warriors don't seem like the best team to have on a back-to-back. But the only thing they do got going for them here is it does feel like Memphis is in the tankathon, and the Warriors need these games so desperately, even though they end up losing that game last night. I mean, they are hanging on here. They're in a position right now in the playoffs, but the other teams are going to start breathing down their neck if they don't win some of these games, and they should. They're probably going to have to win at least have more than half of their games to hang on, or maybe 500 at least to hang on to that 8th spot in the West.
Yeah, I'm be on the Warriors here, even though mainly they lost last night. Well, yeah, last night for me, and that loss to the Pelicans, like that's not acceptable. And just like you said, like they was getting beat on, and they put a lot of energy to try to get back into it, and they just didn't make it. The Grizzlies, they lost to the Kings. Wasn't they? The Kings lost like 16 straight, 15 straight, and they jumped on the Grizzlies. So it's like we know for sure the Grizzlies. We know now that they're tanking. So I'll be on the Warriors. I'll trust Kerr to get these troops together. Whoever going to be on there coming off that loss. Second leg of a back-to-back's not worries me because they come off a loss. So I'll take the Warriors here in this toilet bowl game, and I think I'm actually going to bet them too. I like them in this spot.
Yeah, I mean Grizzlies are so far back here in the Western Conference right now that I am considering them in the tankathon there a little bit. I guess they could think they're breathing. They're 8 games behind the Warriors, so I think I agree. I mean, look, they needed that win. They need every win right now to keep hanging on here, trying to hold off teams like the Clippers and the Blazers. I don't know. I feel like the Clippers should be, able to catch them actually, but we'll see. Still got, a couple dozen games left here. I'm going to end up taking the over with this one. I mean, Memphis is going over in all these games right now. It seems like unstoppable as far as the Grizzlies are concerned. 8-1-1 to the over in their last 10 games, and Golden State's 26-14 to the over as a favorite in this series. Kind of goes over too between these two teams. Between the Warriors and Memphis, they've gone over in 5 straight meetings. So I'll take the over in this one. Justin likes the Warriors to get back in the win column here on the back-to-back. And let's see what the chat has to say here. Thanks, everybody. Let's see here. We've got Mr. Western thinks Draymond's running the whole show out there. Hello to Ron Jeff in the chat. Let's see here. Santos over 14.5 in there, over 4 straight with no Steph in there. Santos seeing what his game's all about here a little bit. Curse says they won't make the playoff. They're gonna tank themselves here. All right. Let's see here. We'll go to the next one here. Another good one here. We talked about the Raptors here and their game against the Thunder. They lost, and now here come the Spurs. These guys are playing a little triangle here. Spurs come in here so hot, though, Justin. Seems like they're unstoppable here with this 9-game winning streak. But Toronto coming off the loss, and they're in a situation, Toronto Raptors here, where it probably feels like they're feeling a little bit of heat anyway. They're in 5th. I mean, they're 3.5 games from the 8th spot. They're actually well clear of the 9th spot. So they're going to the playoffs. But here come the Spurs. They're favored on the road. Can the Spurs get up again?
Yeah, I know this is not going to be too popular, but I'm going to wait on it because I know I'm going to get a better number. But I like the Raptors in this spot. I know the Spurs just beat up on Detroit, but I think the Raptors outside of Wemby, I think they match up very well with the Spurs team. And the Raptors being at home and coming off a loss, I'm not asking them to win the game, but I think the Raptors will stay inside this number. All you got to do is just let Wemby go crazy and slow everybody else down. So, but I know Scotty Barnes, I think he was on the list. So we got to see who's in there. But regardless of the report, I'm gonna just wait for the 7 because when I first seen it, it was 7. Then I've seen no 6.5. Then I've seen a 7.5. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
wait, but I'm gonna be on the Raptors whenever I think the number tops out. Like because I think the injury report gonna hurt us. So this number gonna
yeah.
go a little bit higher when the Raptors injury report come out.
Yeah, I wonder, quad injury. I have my doubts a little bit about Barnes here, even if it does set up as a Raptor spot. Spurs here, I mean, wow, 8-1, also ATS in those last 9. They've gone over in 6 of 8, but Toronto's been trending under here of late. Toronto's been solid too, 5-2 ATS in their last 7 here. Usually these two teams have been a little bit under in their series history, even though they're non-conference foes here. I'm going to have to go under, though. I mean, you look at these two teams overall. You got a Toronto team here that is 23-35 to the under. San Antonio 17-23 to the under as a favorite here. So I'm going to go under with these two, 228 and a half, 229 there. What did I say on the screen? 229. See what the chat says here of this one. And let's see here. Cal Dog says Spurs there. Jermaine's talking about that Warrior game in there. Mr. Wesker's willing to take the Raptors here one more time, getting these points at home. That's a lot of points there for Spurs team, no doubt. Yeah, they do have the day off coming in. Toronto doesn't, but man, these Spurs are hot. Timmy says Spurs, yep. Raptors rested. Podol, Jakob Podol still on that. Justin mentioned the injury list. He's questionable. Timmy Two Shoes on the Spurs here. All right. And we'll keep it going here with the Central Division matchup here with the Cavs on the road. Big favorite against those hard-trying Bucks. Man, the Bucks are really overlooked here. I know Cleveland's been hot too. It actually makes this game a little bit intriguing because Milwaukee has been such a fighter, really, without their superstar in there. It's almost a slap in the face the way these guys have been covering spreads, saying, hey, we can do it without you. Now, they're not winning all the games, let's be fair. Justin, but they have been winning here of late, right out of the break. They beat New Orleans, lost to Toronto, but beat Miami. Milwaukee's been clicking here a little bit, 7-3 ATS in last 10 games. Overall, 4-1 straight up and against the spread their last 5. And not a great roll for Cleveland. We know they've been a terrible favorite all year, just 18-29 ATS.
Yeah, this is. I thought this number was a little bit wide, especially with Cavaliers. I think they had their get up game tonight against the Knicks. With they jumped on them, but I think they just had that game circled. With the Knicks beating them the previous 2 times, so I think they put a lot of effort into that game. You never know who's going to play on the second game of the back-to-back. Bucks just covered. They just beat up on the Heat. But if you pay attention, this Bucks team, like, for some reason, they're being scrappy right now, especially at home. And I trust them with all these points. I'll take the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, you got really, and then just Porter, Rollins, Turner,
Yeah.
Cruz. Yeah, I mean, they just keep on coming a little bit. Green too. I mean, just a consistent effort of the Bucks. I mean, that's what you want to see, man. This is something you could. I'm not saying Giannis is making it more about him, but when you got the other guys playing so well, you're kind of like, well, what is wrong with this? Not much wrong with the hustle and heart of this Bucks team. So you like him though with the extra point, good points in there. You think?
Yeah, I
Justin?
think. Yeah, and I don't want the Cavaliers at this big of a number. Expect them to win by double digits, pretty much. Nah,
And
I
they're
like.
good all year. I mean, look, how can you be 31-18 straight up as a favorite, 18-29 when laying those points?
They just win the game. That's it. They don't cover.
I'll go under here. Milwaukee 15-20 to the under as an underdog. Also, 8 of the last 11 meetings between the two teams have gone under, and at 225, I'm going to take an under here in this one. Justin's got you covered with the sides here on most of them. I've got the totals. Want to give you guys some great plays here in the chat. What did they say? They said over. Uh-oh. Hey, Mr. 4600 is here today. Good to see Mr. 4600. He went over. Cal Dog went over. Jimmy Chushu says, though he likes the Cavs, he thinks the Bucks might be a little bit. Look, the thing about the Bucks here, I guess both teams are on the back-to-back, so I don't think we're sweating that a little bit too much. But no doubt, Milwaukee did a nice job. I liked Miami in that game last night. The Bucks came to play again in that one. All right, let's keep it going here right now. Got a couple of games left here on our NBA card, and well, we got the Kings. Hey, they're coming off a win. Justin, they probably going to end up, celebrating there from the win over Memphis a couple nights ago. They finally broke that losing streak right now for Houston. They're coming in off of a comfortable win over Utah a couple of nights ago, and obviously a big favorite here by 15. How are we going to tackle this one?
Yeah, this is like asking the Houston Rockets to win by 16 points. But it's possible because the Kings done beat them the previous 2 times. I don't know if I think it was the previous 2, but definitely the last one.
No, it was. Both of them. Both Kings won at home, both of them.
Right, so that's not acceptable. And then the Rockets, they coming off a nice little win, a little 20-point win against the Utah Jazz. And I'm not an under-better, but the Houston Rockets, up until last game, had 11 straight unders at home. But the problem is with this game, they just broke that streak the last game against the Jazz. But I just think it's too many points. I think the Kings, even though they're not going to win the game, but coming off that win finally, I think they might have a little pep in their step. So I'm going to take the over in this game. I think the Rockets are going to do the heavy lifting, put up a huge number, and I think the Kings, as long as the Kings get me to 100, I think we get well over this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the over, even though they're coming off for 11 straight, 11-1 to the last 12 to the under. So I'll take the over.
Oh man, yeah, I love that under trend with Houston. So I'm surprised you have that there. Look, Sacramento over in 6 of their last 9. The series is over in 10 of 15, and those the first meeting did go well over when Sacramento won at home 125-124. A bit of a wild one there in overtime back in late December, but the meeting last month was 111-98. The Kings won. You mentioned the 2 meetings before that, but the Kings actually have been winning most of the games there. They're 5-1 straight up and against the spread against Houston. Now, look, Sacramento hasn't been any good for the last couple of years. I don't even think of those other teams when they were beating them there before. They won at Houston 113-103 about almost a year to the day last season in one of their meetings. So I don't know. You know what? To me, that just says this is a game. This is a type of matchup that Houston overlooks their opponent here. Look, maybe the double revenge. They did beat them one time. Sacramento won twice against them in a row. Justin, last season, Houston came back to win at home 121-95 as ironically a 15.5 point favorite. So maybe they could do it if they wanted to, but I'm gonna chalk it up to saying that maybe they overlooked this team, and I'll take Sacramento here in this one. But just point out to everyone in case you this one might be just reaching here a little bit. Sacramento, I mean, they're still 1-16 in their last 17 games, but like I said, oddly enough, cover against Houston. Houston's 3-7 against the spread. Their last 10 right now overall. So I'll go ahead and try the Kings here. But like I said, when they beat them 2 times in a row, and then the Kings beat them by 26 points or the Rockets beat them by 26 at home. We got more comments on this game than any game, it looks like here.
I expect the Rockets to put up a big number. So I'm gonna need the Kings though. They're gonna have to sniff 100 though. They can't handle 90 points, and it's gonna go over. I need them to get close to 100 because I expect the Rockets to put up at least $125. So if the Kings don't help me out, then shame on me for trusting them. And I look at Westbrook. I like to go with Westbrook. They're him and KD. They don't really see eye to eye. So maybe a little competition, a little Westbrook points, but like this over.
Andre's doing some Westbrook. Tremaine went with KD under there. And let's see here. Rockets to get to 115 for Timmy Two Shoes. Andre says, let's see, he had some action there, and Andre's playing some tennis tonight.
I'm
Okay.
gonna need more than 115 out the Rockets.
Yeah. No, I got you there. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're gonna. Yeah, no doubt. And like you said, I'm just that Houston uh, under streak. I mean, they're like you said. I mean, they've been all unders here, and now they're 8-18 to the under at home. So if it's a blowout script, that could. You want those Kings, I think, to hang in there. I think is.
Yeah, I need them to keep it like under 10. If they go down like 20, 25, it's not gonna go over. But I just think the Kings gonna be feisty. Yeah, I just need a little bit of effort. Like, hey, y'all broke that little 16 game losing streak. Not that y'all care because y'all trying to lose anyway, but no, don't nobody yet. No men want to go lose that many. So maybe y'all have a little pep in your step and a little confidence. You done beat this team the last 2 times, so go out there and help me score some points. That's all.
Well, I just talked about the good teams beating up on the tankers, and here I am on the Kings. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. One more here. Oh, Mr. Wesker's Kings first quarter. All right, one more here on the card, and it will be one of the featured games, if not the featured game here. Celtics taking on the Nuggets. Nuggets here they're down, I believe, to at least 4 here, if not 3.5 right now. I just typed these in a little while ago. I think it is 3.5 pretty much everywhere right now, Justin. And the total here has gone up to 230.5. Just to show you how long ago I typed these numbers in. Geez. Let me bring it back up here now with the Nuggets here 3.5 against the Celtics here in this one, Justin. For Boston, obviously they're cooking here. 9-1 straight up, 8-2 ATS in their last 10, and they've been a solid under here in 11 of their last 13. Denver just 3-6 straight up in their last 9, 1-4 ATS in their last 5 here. So still nice game here, even though it's East-West. And got Boston coming in here. Like I said, they obviously are taking the action, it looks like.
Yeah, sometimes I like to go against the trends, and I'm gonna do it once here. And my logic is I'm gonna be on the over. Actually, I already bet it and posted it on Twitter. I got a flat number at 230, and I'm thinking that we're gonna get Jalen Brown back in there for the Celtics. I think he didn't play tonight, just to sit that game out for the. He was playing the Phoenix Suns, so go ahead and sit that one out and save him for the Nuggets. You got the Nuggets coming off a loss to the Golden State Warriors. So anytime the Nuggets coming off a loss, especially when they go back at home, I expect them to put up a lot of points. The previous meeting, we seen Denver beat them. It was 114 to 110. That's 224 points, and Denver won that game in Boston. But the only problem was Jokic wasn't in there, so I figured add Jokic to there. We should get up in there, up and over. I'm not worried about the Celtics helped me out on the second leg of a back-to-back because they only put up 97 points, low effort, no Brown. They didn't take that game serious. They knew what it was. So I think they're going to put up a big number. Nuggets going to put up a big number off a loss and the in-season revenge. So I like this over. I know the trend, especially with the Celtics, is going to say under, but I like this over a lot.
No, the trends do say the trends are under. Boston's got sustained under trends, like I said here, but it does feel like here. I mean, Denver's the team going over right now. I think they've gone over in 8 of their last 10, and when they're a favorite, they almost always go over. I mean, they're 26-11 to the over as a favorite here. So I agree with you. I think this one's going to be pretty fun, actually. Here, I'll take Boston. Yeah, Brown should be in there. But Warriors have, I mean, the Nuggets have their a few guys. Murray is a hamstring issue. He's probable for the game, but you got Pickett out right now, and Strother is probable. Not much else for the short-term injuries with the Nugs, but I'm going to take the Celtics here in this one. Plus, I guess only 3.5 here right now. But yeah, I like what you're saying there with the total for sure. Let's see if the chat has anything in our last game here. It's our 6-game NBA card here for Wednesday night. And let's see who's doing what here. Mr. Westwood says, "Is he questioning Nuggets?" No, well, Nuggets. Nuggets actually won. Justin was saying, even without him, the Nuggets were able to get that one there right in Boston. There, they kind of
Yeah,
spun
Jokic didn't play that game.
Celtics revenge, technically, right? Boston having a good month there. Timmy Two Shoes. Yep, Brown was probably rested for this one. Andre says the Nuggets do very, very well at home. Timmy Two Shoes got some Hardaway action. Andre likes uh, Jovic as well, and he likes Murray to light it up here. All right, that's it, I guess, for the NBA here on Wednesday night. Okay. Got some college basketball action. Oh, we got a couple more comments here. Let's see. Oh, Boston. But yeah, I mean, they've started on a road trip here for the to start the second half. I got you there. Okay, just
And if the
go ahead.
price is right, you got to sprinkle the triple double for big fella. Only thing is, they've been pricing me out like for Jokic triple double. Like I remember, like especially like towards last year, you get like plus 140, plus 160. Now it's like minus 115. I ain't doing no minus 115 for a triple double, but if I get plus money, I'll take a look at them. I always take the big man against the Celtics. So
I just feel like we overlooked some, this Nuggets offense. I mean, it's gonna. We're not putting. I'm not putting Oklahoma City or San Antonio. I still think you got three teams that can mix. They're gonna be mixing it up here in the West, Justin. I don't think you could just say right now, even if San Antonio has passed Denver. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I don't know which team is better right now. I'd probably still think once the Thunder's all healthy that they'll still have the Spurs. But look, the Nuggets are in there too. Let's not look away.
absolutely,
They have all of that experience, right?
what they trying to say is it's two team race. Can't
No,
count the Nuggets.
no. I don't think anybody's saying that. But I think with all the talk about, how the Spurs have kind of had the Thunder's number here over the last several games right now, that they've kind of passed them up and they're ready to overtake them here, even though but it seems like if just not too long ago, we just said the Thunder could never lose, right? The first 2 or 3 months of the season when they practically won every game. So
Mhm.
yeah, with SGA out, it's kind of thrown a little bit of clunkiness, I think, into their winning ways. But okay, let's go to college. I have 3 notes here in college basketball, Justin, you probably know about. Wake Forest will play Boston College today. Xavier will play Providence. Those are 2 games that were postponed from yesterday. We'll see if they can play them today. Hopefully they will. And then one other game, though, Rhode Island at St. Bonaventure for Wednesday has been pushed back to Thursday because of all that cold weather up there. Is it staying away from Western Pennsylvania there? The cradle of sports betting, might I add?
No, we're getting snow right now. As we speak, we're getting snow.
All right, let's get ready to go here in college ball. Justin and I picked out some very good games here, I think, to get going here. And first one up with Justin here is we're going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, with Butler taking on Villanova. Here in this one, Justin, you got the Cats and the Dogs, but Villanova's favored by 10 here. They right now it feels like Villanova is the most overlooked team in the country. Yeah, we could talk about those top. I don't know. I want to almost narrow it down to those top 3 teams right now in the country, maybe Florida. But Villanova's definitely been one of the hotter overlooked teams. It feels like to me right now. If you're looking for a fourth, like I said, Florida might be that 4th team, but still pretty good one here with Villanova hosting Butler Big East play.
Yeah, I'm not understanding why. Like they're just flying under the radar talking about this Nova team. And the easiest way to explain that is when we seen this game the first time they played at Butler, Nova was a 1.5 point dog. It was Butler minus 1.5. Now, you fast forward it. Now it's Villanova at the crib minus 10. That just shows you that one, Villanova's not been respected all year. They're just staying on the radar. They're just winning and they're winning. And they're coming off this loss. And now you're playing this Butler team coming off a loss. I think I'm gonna be on I missed the number I got, but I still endorsed the 10. I've stared at that 9.5 almost all night, even when I text you the game. So, and then I missed it. So you could probably look around and probably still get it, but I think it's a good spot for no. This Butler team's horrible.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, man, uh, Villanova, clicking right now, no doubt about it. Got to be impressed with what they've done here of late. Yeah, they lost that game to Connecticut, and it got away from them there. They probably came in there, pretty confident, riding on that winning streak. Yeah, the wins weren't over anybody special there in this Big East right now. Georgetown, Marquette, Creighton, and Xavier, but they just couldn't get the offense going in that game. But still, Villanova 12-7 against the spread. As a favorite, covered 6 of their last 9, and Villanova's won and covered 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two, 4 straight actually here overall. You mentioned the win there at Butler. They beat them by 18, you said, as a short dog in that
Yeah, they was a dog one outright.
Oh boy, yeah, no, they're looking pretty good here. I'd say right now, 15 of the last 19 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Oh man, I think Villanova's offense is looking to strike here against Butler. It seems like these weekday games in conference play for Villanova always end up at least in the 150s. Justin, I might be doing the eye test. I know the first one was 152. Here this year, the one you mentioned anyway. And I think both teams kind of trend over, but particularly Villanova 13-6 to the over as a favorite. So I'm going to go over in this one with Butler and Villanova. Justin's going to lay it here where, yeah, you said 10, but let's see. I know that you saw some, it's 9.5 all over, Justin.
Yeah, but not just 9.5 everywhere.
I'm just a little behind here because of like I said, I was watching some other sports and typing them. I was watching my San Diego State Aztecs upset number 1 UCLA in baseball tonight. That ended up being my personal featured game there. Great win for San Diego State. They haven't really been very good since Tony Gwynn passed away. He was the manager of the team for the last years of his life, and they never really were great under Tony, even though he was a great caretaker of the program. But they beat UCLA tonight, number 1 team in the country, and I was watching it. All right, Villanova for Andre. Cal Dog likes Villanova and Butler over, and Andre has Butler team total under. Okay, well, Justin here says take Nova, lay those points, and I've got the over. All right, we got more exciting action here on Wednesday with the Florida Gators here taking on the Texas Longhorns here, Justin. You got top teams for sure here. Or I say top. I'm talking about Florida here, Justin. Look, I'm just putting them in at number 4 because they've got the experience. I believe that most people have come to the conclusion right now, and you could throw in somebody else, but, Duke, Arizona, and Michigan. I mean, how can you go anywhere else with any other teams right now? And then I think you've got to pick the 4th team. Could it be a team here like Florida? Mentioned some other teams there. But they are taking on Texas here, and I mentioned this one just because Texas right now is probably in the last 4, not in the final 4 teams, but just in the 4 teams that are going to get – they don't have to play that play-in game right now unless they lose some of these games here. Like I said, even if Texas loses, I don't know if it's going to hurt them that much because they are playing a team ranked above them. But Texas is kind of a bubble team at this point, believe it or not.
Yeah, Texas is looking for this to be a nice win if they could somehow pull this upset off. And I'm not going to be on the side because this Florida team, I don't know. I just respect this Florida team. It's like ever since they lost to who they lose to, I think it was Missouri, I think it was. And I don't know, this Florida team, like, we got to remember, they're returning champs. They don't have Clayton and all them, but they still got people on, and this team is really good. And I'm just not in a hurry to fade them. But one thing I do like is Texas coming off that big blowout loss to my Georgia Bulldogs. So I think they're going to be a get-up spot. Florida's going to play fast. Texas played fast when they're at home. So I'm going to be on the over in this game. I haven't moved on it yet, and when I seen it, I was looking at it, it was 157.5. And I put it in my little cart and then I went and started doing something else. I think it's at 158.5 now. But either way, I still like the over. Florida puts up a lot of points. Texas is going to have to put up points to keep up the scoring. So give me the over in this game.
No, and I don't know if you want to, take up a debate or if you just agree that those teams right now, and I'm putting Florida as the fourth team because of what you said. I think the experience factor. You mentioned the Missouri game; they also lost to Auburn. Those are the two conference losses. I mean, there's no problem with that's how that SEC is strong. We can make fun of it here, maybe not having their best year. I don't know. It seems like they still got some pretty good clubs here right now. Florida's won 7 straight, 6-0. Straight up on the road here right now. The last 6, they've covered 10 of their last 13. Texas though clicking here as well. Right now 8-4 against the spread. Their last 12, they've gone over in 5 straight. You mentioned the total there. Florida's an under team, make no mistake, but Texas, is an over team. So the meeting last year was 84-80, so it went well over in that one. Florida got the win at home in that one as an 11-point favorite. They didn't get the money necessarily in that game. So, yeah, Florida's on a roll. This number still feels a little bit big. Texas is a pretty decent cover, as hot as Florida's been. I'm going to take these 6.5 points, Justin, and think that they can hang in there. They're 7-3 against the spread as a dog, talking about the Texas Longhorns here. So I'm going to try them here at home. Look, Florida's hot. I just put them in the Final Four, but I'll try Texas. They still have won here 12 of 15 games at home this season. I'll try them here. Let's see what the chat says here in this one.
But I agree with you, though. I had this conversation with my sister probably like a month ago, and she's living in Florida, and she's just not high on them. And she was like, they're a top 10 team. And I'm like, top 10? I said, I don't think you could convince me there's 4 teams that are better than Florida. Not 4. Like, you can't no one convince me Houston's better than this team.
No. I mean, they got the losing streak right now, right? And
right. I mean, and everyone still looks at Houston, but if you're still looking at Houston, we just watched the championship and Houston lost. So, but I think they're a top 4 team by far.
I think with Houston, I think everyone right now with the attitude with Houston is you're going to have to prove it to me in one big game somewhere down the line in order to look. We know Coach Sampson is great. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a legend, but that the program just can't seem to get over the hump and get that big one. I'm not look. Illinois just had their own struggles. They lost to the Bruins there. Iowa State, I don't know if it's lacking the star power or whatnot. Purdue,
they like Tennessee too. Yeah. Like we watch this every single year, like with Barnes and Sampson. Like they run through the regular season, have excellent seasons, then they get to the tournament, but they never cut the nets down. Like we watch this every year.
The one team I think that maybe we're overlooking a little bit here is because, look, we know Duke. We've just seen how incredible they've been in some of these games here recently, right? They just gave Notre Dame their worst home loss ever tonight. I mean, and Boozer was incredible. They were 40. But is Virginia possibly – I'm not putting them ahead of Duke. I'm just saying, is that the one team that maybe we're overlooking? Maybe Virginia – I mean, because they're down there in the net ratings in the Ken Palms in the like 12 to 15 range. I don't know. I feel like Virginia might be – they only have 3 losses, and maybe they're the team that is being kind of overlooked. I mean, they're still could catch Duke technically.
Yeah, and they jumped on NC State tonight.
Yep, they put it down. I had them here on the show last night. Justin should have been here with us. We went with Virginia. Okay, we got a couple more. We got more here. Let's go. These are some great games here on Wednesday. It's a good card. How about Coach going in? Got a couple of coaching. One I like, one I don't like, but got Connecticut here hosting St. John's in this one. Justin, great one here in the Big East, and Connecticut, they're going to be favored at home in this one by 5. they're not the best of covers here, but you got St. John's coming in, and Connecticut would like to get this one. They're still ranked sixth. They're the team I did not kind of mention there, Justin, with all those teams here, but they're going to have a St. John's team coming in here red hot. What do you think here? St. John's ranked 15th. They're on the winning streak here. Connecticut actually had that upset loss to Creighton, and they've got revenge.
Yeah, this is a huge game. And like, I always watch these games because these two teams always go at it. And people think that UConn like dominates, but they really don't. St. John's like Patina, like he coaches up. Like he gets these boys ready to play UConn time in and time out. The only problem is they won the first matchup, and I'm gonna trust UConn just like I trusted UConn off a loss to beat up on Nova over the weekend. Same thing. The only they're not coming off a loss, they're coming off a loss to St. John. St. John beat them earlier in the season, and you're going to prove to me that you could beat this team twice. I'll be on UConn. The number was moving up. I seen a 4.5. Then right before I came on there, I seen a 5.5. And it's a lot of It's a lot of points to give the St. John team, but I think they're just ready for this thing. I think by the time they come in, this game start, I think it's going to open up like 6, probably 6.5.
Man, 3 straight wins for the Johnnies here. Connecticut probably can't sleep right now waiting for this one, right? And look, 10 of the last 14 meetings have gone over, including the meeting they back just a couple weeks ago was 81-72. St. John's won it at home, and then last year, St. John's won the meeting at home 89-75, although Connecticut won the game at home just 68-62. It was kind of a different game there in that one. And I don't know, it might end up in that fashion here again. I know Connecticut's gone over in 8 of their last 9, and this feels like an over series, but I just feel like the way Connecticut has to do it at home here, I don't know. Maybe they are supposed to outgun them here if that's the way this one goes. But Connecticut has gotten over, and like I said, 8 of their last 9. Now, St. John's only an underdog for the 3rd time this season. They did go over in both of their other games as an underdog here. But, man, is it really – I'm going under here, Justin. I think it's got to be defensive here for Connecticut. This might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion here because I think people are going to think that the way Connecticut is playing right now here offensively in some of these games, the way they're scoring upwards of 80-plus points in a few of these contests. I'm going to go under, though, here in this one and say we get a tackle football match. Let's see what the chat says here. I'm actually going against my algorithm over here, actually, in this game. It's telling me to go over, but let's see here.
Sometimes you gotta do that.
Yeah, I'm going with the eye test. Well, listen to what you said. I mean, look, this is going to be Connecticut's got no choice. I mean, they've got to get down and dirty here. I think Cal Dogs Connecticut.
Like they got to be getting ready for it. Like they got to be having the spot circled. Like they should be ready right now. Like so.
Andre likes Connecticut. Okay. Okay, let's go here now. Got a couple more here. I'm going to go quickly, Justin, here. I'm going to go down to the extra board here and go to, let's take a look here with Central Arkansas taking on Austin Peay here. Action for Wednesday with Austin Peay favored at home in this one over Central Arkansas by 3.5, total 150 here. Look at the Governors here with this 10-game winning streak right now, and right now I believe they can close out the con. Let me see, how many games do they have left? Just 2, so they're looking to clinch it outright. They've already clinched first place, looking to clinch it outright here against this Central Arkansas team that is 2 back. They'd have to win this one, and then Austin Peay would have to lose their last game against Bellarmine, and then Central. So I guess they could still tie, but still a good game. Top 2 teams in the A-Sun.
Yeah, this pick is definitely not going to be popular, but you actually You got a lot of my notes with me because I'm gonna be on Central Arkansas here, and I really love them in this spot. They just dropped their previous game, which I feel like I could justify that. They was on the road to Florida Gulf Coast, and they lost to a Florida Gulf Coast team. They're not horrible. But they shouldn't have been. Matter of fact, I didn't think Central Arkansas was favored. Like so, road favorite loss upset to Florida Gulf Coast. Austin Peay's undefeated at home this year, so
Mhm.
it's a hard ask. But I'm not asking them to lose. But I'm just asking Central Arkansas to keep it beside the number. I think it's going to be the bounce back coming off that loss to Florida Gulf Coast. I think Austin Peay's going to come in here and, whether they celebrate it or not, because they did clinch, but they're 2 games behind in the conference, meaning 2 games up in the conference. My fault, I said that backwards. So I think it's going to be a close game, 50-50 game, even though they're undefeated at home. I think Central Arkansas is live, and I'll be on the points plus 3.5. I also post this on Twitter.
Yeah, we're still a one bid league, so you can win this conference tournament. You're still going to have to win. I mean, you can win this conference outright. So you're going to have to win the tournament here, but with this league, but probably come down to these two and Austin P. We'll go ahead with this big winning streak. Maybe Central Arkansas was looking ahead. What were you going to say?
That's what I think. That's what I said in my when I mentioned the Florida golf game. 'Cause they
Uh-huh.
shouldn't have lost that game. So I think they was looking ahead to this game. I think the spread opened up at 4.5. Now it's down to 3.5. So obviously people or think I don't think it should have been that high in the first place. These teams are separated by 2 losses in as far as the conference play. But I think they're much closer than that. I think I like the Central Arkansas team.
Yeah. Oh, that first game, that Gulf Coast game, it did go overtime. They actually came back. They were trailing there. Came back. Game went overtime, and then they end up losing it there. Central Arkansas is 5-10. To the under on the road, although they are 6-3 to the over as a dog. Just for me, I think every time you see that this Austin P team right now at home just seems to go over though here, and I'm gonna look. The last game was 157 when the two teams met last year here. I'm gonna go over here in this one with Central Arkansas and Austin P. Justin likes Central Arkansas here plus the points. That's a good one tonight in the Atlantic Sun. Worth a look there, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. All right, let's see if anybody looked at this one with us. Austin P for Andre there. All right. And let's got a couple more here for you. I think I got one more here, Justin, tonight. Let's go to the back to the SEC with LSU taking on Ole Miss. Here in this one, Ole Miss a 1.5 point favorite. It's LSU that's been making the noise at ATS here, I think, for the most part here, even though they just can't get a win here right now. They've lost several in a row. They've covered 3 in a row despite losing here right now. These two teams are desperate for a win. LSU is 7-2 against the spread on the road. Ole Miss one of the worst spread teams in the country.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Ole Miss has won. I think they're coming in here loses in 9 straight. I think it is.
Oh boy.
So, and it can for this team be opened up as favored against LSU. I think it says enough. That all I need to know that they're finally going to get off the slide and get a win here. I personally got -129. I endorsed the -1.5 for Ole Miss. I think we're only getting this number just because of the losing streak, just because of LSU. Like if you look at it, if you look at recent form, LSU should be the favorite, even with the home court. Like we watched Ole Miss lose the game to Mississippi State when they was at home. Like, and I've been on Ole Miss a lot, so I still back them. I don't think they're good. I just think this is a spot for me. I really like Mississippi in this game, so I'll be on Ole Miss get their first win in months.
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
a month and a half.
These guys are going dancing here, but Ole Miss here coming in, 3-13 against the spread at home, but they are 7-6 straight up. Just really, they've been favored in some games by a little bit too much. LSU, they are an underdog here still, right? They're 0-11 as an underdog this year. so far. So yeah, they're an underdog here by 1.5 here across the board right now. So I'm going to end up here on the over in this one with LSU taking on Ole Miss here with this one. Like I said, LSU, they're kind of an under team here so far, but Ole Miss 17-10 to the over. So I'm going to kind of ride. If you're going with Ole Miss, I think it's got to be an over. That way, uh, Ole Miss has gone over here, I believe, in 5 straight right now here. So give me the over here in this one with LSU and Ole Miss tonight over 148 there. And let's see if anybody had anything in the chat, and then we'll say goodbye to Justin. I'm going to go over some hockey games here. Hockey's back. All right, let's see. Cal Dogs, he's got, what has he got? Over and P money line, and maybe he's going to middle that game there. Ole Miss and under for Andre. Cal Dogs on Ole Miss. And Timmy says LSU money line's taking some action here. Cal Dog likes the over with me. All right, Justin.
I think I like that over with y'all.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Thank you, Justin, as well, for joining us here tonight on Night Moves. Got our card here in the NBA and college basketball. Justin, you got to tell me about the rookie for the Pirates, man. Are you going to bet him to take Rookie of the Year? I know there's some other candidates, but I'm going to have to do it. I mean, this guy, he hits some he's got to be leading the sports broadcast tonight in Pittsburgh.
Nah, this is what's funny. Like I live out here. I'm not from out here, but I do love the city Pittsburgh though, and I am not a fan of none of the teams. But like I don't know. Like I seen, I don't know if anybody knows him. Dude, Toast gave out this Pirates team total over or for the wins, and when I'm listening to it, I'm like, you know what? I really, really like that. Like, and then I could watch the games. Like I could go to the games for like $20, $15. So to watch my my win total over, as far as Rookie of the Year, I mean, I don't know.
Plus 275.
It'd be nice to see. It would be nice to see. Like out of all the Pittsburgh teams, I at least hate the Pirates. I don't have a problem with the Pirates, and I'm gonna enjoy going to their games, watching my futures.
Well,
like I'm really.
Connor Griffin is who I'm speaking of, and man, 19 years old. He had 2 home runs, 2 bombs out there. I mean, this guy, that's the other thing that's exciting about it. 19 years old here. He's about to make some history here if he can. Were they really saying he might start the season in Double-A? Please, you better have him in there. You're Pittsburgh.
I don't know why they do that. Like, why wouldn't he start opening day? Like, I don't get that. But I don't understand anything the Pirates do. So, like. Like Skeen's gonna be gone. Like this new rookie, 4 years, he's out of here. Like,
oh man, you got
it's a hard watch.
This kid, great looking prospect, Connor Griffin, #1 ranked prospect in all of baseball, comparatively to guys like Bobby Witt in there, was minor league. Player of the year, I believe, last year, as well as an 18-year-old. So, 5-tool player, and he already got promoted 1 level up. And talking about him opening up at Double-A, I don't know. I got to have him in the starting lineup. If I'm Pittsburgh, I'm batting him third. If it's me, Justin. All right, great to see you again, and thanks a lot. And say goodbye to the chat, and I'll do the hockey here. What's going on here at Tony's? We already mentioned a little bit here. You and I are steaming a little bit, Justin, after Tuesday. So what are we going to do here?
I'm going to heat back up, get back on track. I'm going to keep firing away. I'm going to dig a little deeper. Like February has been just a month of up and down for me, but keeping my head down, staying focused, fighting this little head cold. Every time the kids go back to school, kids come home, bring home, and I always get sick. But one thing it doesn't do, it don't affect my captain. I'm gonna have at least a 3-pack in college, and I'm my best bet in NBA. So I always say check us out, pair us up. We go on to Tony's, check out, get 15% off. And right now, definitely for the month of February, you don't want to get me. Pair Uncle Run Up and Ramon, Pair them two together, DeAndre, night moves. People got to get Alessandro. He's hot right now. He got a show right before here. So pair him up with somebody. He burn it up. Tony, anybody, like anybody you want, your hottest cappers, your favorite cappers. Like, I don't want to leave nobody out, but say it every day, but night moves, try to get back in the swing of things, get a little schedule. But I'm gonna be on here though.
Yeah, I was all fired up when you joined me tonight. I'm like, can't wait to tell Justin I've been hot. And then I wasn't for tonight, but that's all right. All right.
One day get down. We'll get back starting tonight. I like the slate, small NBA slate, if you dig in like the college slate, and hockey back. I'm gonna dig into hockey in a little bit here. I just want to get to college first, and my first year of hockey, and I ain't doing too bad.
Okay. Well, shoot. We'll have you're welcome to stay around one of these nights if you want. I mean, I was going to go over the card here, 8-game card here on the.
Yeah, one of these days I'll start doing one of these days. I'll come out here and give out a hockey pick for y'all. But I only do money line dogs and over and unders, pretty much overs.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go over the card here. We'll see. We know that Connor Hellebuck, Justin, tonight, he will not be playing tomorrow for the Jets. But tonight at the State of the Union address, it was announced that he would receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his efforts in the Winter Olympic Games. Connor Hellebuck from Commerce, Michigan. And the president has acknowledged the team when they came out and also said he would be getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the first ever hockey player to receive that award. Of course, we know that there have been some great sports stars that have gotten that award before, usually. Now, I don't want to say that wasn't a great victory, and I'm not going to slight here Connor Hellebuck, but if you look down the list of athletes that have received guys like Jackie Robinson in there, some great. But hey, you know what? This was years in the making to win this big game, and it was one of the most watched games ever. So, and he made the most incredible save behind his back with a stick that I don't even know still if he thought he saved that as on purpose or by accident, but it worked out
Accident
for the United States. Right? You got to put your stick back there though, just in case, just in case
worked
it hit.
out.
All right. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll catch you again on Night Moves, Justin. Thanks a lot. Everybody use the promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 15% off Justin's premium pick packages here on Wednesday and every day with all of our cappers over at Tony's Picks. All right. Thanks, you. We'll see you later. All right. Justin McKelvey joining us here on Night Moves. Okay, we've got a little bit of a hockey card here tonight. Just eight games on the ice here. So hopefully we can keep at it here with the hockey. We're definitely clicking here right now, and we're going to get into the matchups here for Wednesday. Let's get to it and get ready in the chat with your comments as well on these games. Here we go. We're going to start it off here with Philadelphia Flyers. Here we go. Philadelphia Flyers on the road taking on the Washington Capitals. Capitals favored here by $1.50 in this one. Total 6.5 under 25. When we left off, Washington was the hot team here coming in. They were definitely clicking here. Winners for their last 5 coming in. Philadelphia, meanwhile, had lost 5 of their last 6 games. Washington has defeated Philadelphia in 6 of the last 7 meetings coming into this one. I still feel like the line's a little bit too high right now, but maybe I just forget how well Washington, they're 29, 23-7. Philadelphia, 25, 20-11. Philadelphia's been a terrible underdog. I know that, 13-25 as a dog. Washington, a decent favorite. 22-17 here. Philly's gone over in 9 of their last 10 on the road, but Washington's gone under in 5 of their last 7 games at home. I'm going to take the Flyers in this one to start the second half. I'm going to go with Philly here in this one on the road at plus money. I might be bucking the chat a little bit, or maybe the public a little bit, but I'm going to take the Flyers to open up out of the gate here against Washington in this one. Let me catch your picks here. If you're joining me in the chat and ready to go with our games here in the National Hockey League, coming off that respite with the Olympic Games here. So we're back into action here right now. All right. Let's see. Timmy Two Shoes likes the over here in the Flyers Caps game. All right. That might be it from the chat right now. We got to get back into things here, I guess. All right. Let me keep on moving here on our 8-game card. I was hoping to see some more comments in there, but I'll move on. Next up, the Sabres are on the road. Here they are taking on the Devils. Now, we know that the Sabres were one of the great stories here of the first, I call it the first half of the season. We're really down to the final 20-plus games here. Alex Lyon in goal here for the Sabres, and I think I think it could be Allen. It could be Markstrom. Like I said, I mean, some of these teams going to be right back in action here. So hope I got some of these goalies right here. Okay, let's see what we got here. Buffalo did lose their last 2 games into the break to Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. We know how incredible they've been this season. 32, 19, and 6, 15 and 11 on the road. New Jersey, 28, 27, and 2, 13 and 12 at home this season. Almost a toss-up here right now. Look, Buffalo, man, what a run they were on here. Can they just pick up where they left off? If any team felt like did not want the break to happen, it'd have to be the Buffalo Sabres. They did win 6 of their last 9. They're 5-1 last 6 on the road. New Jersey has won 12 of the last 15 meetings between the two teams, and they've already split 2 meetings this year, winning on each other's home ice. New Jersey's gone under in for the last 5 meetings against Buffalo, and for their last 5 games overall, under in 7 of their last 8 games at home. I'm actually going to take New Jersey here. Look, I'm still pro Buffalo here. I think they're still fine, but first game out of the break here, we'll see if it's Allen or Markstrom here. I think I'm leaning Allen right now, but some of the sites have Markstrom in there. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Devils here in the first one back anyway. But don't get me wrong, I still love what the Sabres have done here. All right, let's see here. We've got caps for Andre Mr. Wester's on the Devils in this one. Cow Dog Sabres, Andre Sabres. And Timmy Two Shoes talking about Thompson here. Look, we do know that not only with Thompson here, but some other things that did come out a little bit of the Olympics as far as which players would be in or out here. I feel good about Thompson here right now, but let's see here. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now. I know Zach Benson of Buffalo, he's listed out of this game. Josh Norris is probable. And we'll see. Pekka Luukkonen could be in goal in this game for the Sabres here. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Nothing else from the chat. Okay, I'm going to take the Devils here. Next up, the Maple Leafs are on the road taking on the Lightning. These teams were hot entering the break. Toronto had won 3 straight with wins over Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, has been one of the hottest teams in the league here right now, and we'll see as they set down for the drive. You got to figure they've got big things, big plans here. One bunch of games at home in a row right now. I think 10 maybe at home, 1-5 straight coming in. But Toronto's won the last 5 meetings in this series, and they've won 4 of their last 5 overall. Still Toronto 11-14 as an underdog here. Tampa Bay, yeah, they were beating everybody, but they had some tough games in there against Buffalo and Boston. They won at home, didn't play that well, but Toronto's won 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams here in Tampa Bay. Toronto just feels very, very comfortable playing here against the Lightning for whatever reason when they've gone on the road in these games. Now, on the puck line here, maybe a little bit dicey if you want to get involved with Tampa. They're still minus $1.42 here in this one. Maybe I'll just go to the over here. Like I said, Toronto's owning these guys, but 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over, and Tampa had gone over in 4 of 6 heading into the break, including 3 straight. So, man, I kind of want to take the Leafs. I'm going to take the Leafs here on the puck line here, plus 1.5, minus $1.45. Give me the Leafs on the puck line here. Kind of like the edge that they have here. Play well against Tampa. Tampa's been great. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be, I think Tampa, look, I have a futures on them here. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Jack Hughes. Yeah, Jack Hughes there. And we've got Lightning and regulation for Andre. Hello to Jimmy Lambo in the chat today. He's ready to go with the UFC card here this weekend. I went 3-2 with my, or 2-3 on my premiums. I lost one by half of a point on the scorecards there. But yeah, Jimmy got some great UFC this weekend with Moreno and Kavanaugh. We're down in Mexico. I hope it all works out. Look, that was Sunday. I think everything calmed down a little bit. All right, let's keep it moving here right now. Next up, the Kraken are on the road taking on the Dallas Stars. Stars are favored here. Now, both teams were hot into the break. The Stars had won 6 in a row, including 4 of their last 5 at home. Seattle's always struggled here in Dallas right now. They've lost 7 straight when visiting Dallas here, but I don't know. I kind of think the price, $1.60, I might have to take the Kraken on principle here. Kraken were playing well. They had won 5 of their last 6, although just 2-4 in their last 6 on the road. Dallas has gone under in 6 of their last 7 meetings against the Dallas Stars. I mean, probably would go under here, I would think, with these two. Got a Dallas team here that is 22-28 to the under as an underdog. But I'm going to go with the Kraken here in this one at plus $1.35, $1.40. I'm coming out of the gate with some underdogs here, I think, with some long shots, I think, so far. Give me the Kraken in this one against the Stars to break an over 7 skid against this team in Dallas. 0-9. Kraken has lost 9 straight to Dallas. I'm going to take them here in this one. I just love attention. Okay, Andre's on the Stars, Cal Dog's on the Stars, and Andre likes the under, and Timmy says Stars in regulation. Cal Dog likes the Stars. Everybody likes the Stars. I'm going to go with the Kraken. Next up, the Avalanche are on the road taking on the Mammoth. In this one, and Blackhawk, the Avalanche on the road here. Look, they've actually been struggling just a little bit here into the break, losing 4 of their last 6. They have beaten Utah in 5 of the last 7 meetings. Utah's been playing well. They had won 11 of their last 15 heading into the break, and 6 of their last 7 at home as well. They're 17-8 at home this season. They're not a great underdog, just 7-13. We know that Colorado's still pretty great, but again, it was really their toughest spell going into the break. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams here in Salt Lake City have gone over. I think they're all of them in Salt Lake City now. We might have played enough years here out of Arizona. Maybe one of those games could have been in Arizona. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. I'm taking the Mammoth here in this one. I'm taking another upset here with the Mammoth at home against the Colorado Avalanche here. Give me Utah in this one. Right, Cal Dog says, take the abs here. Andre likes Utah on the puck line. I'm take the over here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I might be thinking under Andre, but I think I'm going to like the Mammoth a little more in this one. Look, Colorado. Look, Utah's great. They're going to the playoffs right now, the way things are going. Okay, let's see. Got a few more here. Okay, the Golden Knights are taking on the Kings. All right, now we're talking. Golden Knights have been a pretty successful team here. Won 2 in a row heading into the break, but pretty good on the road, actually, 13-8, but just 2-5 as an underdog here. Kings at $1.55. Now, they've been not great here, 8-11 at home. They've done much better on the road. They're just 15-20 coming in as a favorite here. But, man, am I going to take all sides here, Mr. Totals here? I think so. I kind of, man, that Kings price is pretty high. Maybe I should look to the total. I like the Kings, but $1.55 against this Vegas team. Kings had struggled a little bit here down the stretch, losing 4 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 6 at home, but they've beaten Vegas in 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. Here. Kings were going over in 5 of the last 7 between the two teams, although 5 of the last 6 of the Kings games have gone under here. I'm taking the Kings. Man, $1.55. You know what? It's down to $1.40 at some of these square books. Go ahead and give me the Kings here. I don't feel too bad at $1.40. I might have to update it on the screen there to be fair to myself here. Still $1.47 at Circa, $1.40 at offshore here, $1.48 at DK, $1.60 here at the South Point in Vegas. But I'm going to go ahead and take. Look, I went with some upsets. Okay, I'm going to take a favorite here with the Kings here against the Golden Knights. 2 of my teams right there. Okay, let's see. Knights for Cal Dog, Kings money line and over for Andre. And Timmy says no Fiala. Yeah, really bummer there for the Kings. Fiala's lost for the season, obviously, with that horrible injury suffered there in the Olympics. That was a tough one to watch. But we'll see. The big news, of course, is Panarin here for the Kings. Eichel's out for the Knights also in this one. And we'll see about those Olympians here, which guys are going to make it to the game. Theodore Stone, Marner also in there. All right. Let's keep it moving here right now. Next up is going to be the Jets and the Canucks. Like we said, I think I've got Comrie in the lineup. I mean, I just saw not, 6 hours ago, maybe 5.5 hours ago, Connor Hellebuck was standing in the rotunda there and getting a standing ovation with the U.S. men's hockey teams. We'll see how many of those guys can make it to their. They should. I mean, they all got on planes, I'm sure, after the game, but he's on a whirlwind tour here at this point, Connor Hellebuck here. So it's hard to take Vancouver. They were so bad, really. I mean, if you had to look at one team, who was the worst team in the first half, I mean, you probably got to go to Vancouver for sure. They're 18, 33-6. They've lost 17 of 19, 12 of their last 14 at home. The Jets did lose a couple into the break to Dallas and Montreal, but Vancouver, I'm probably going to take Vancouver actually in this game. Like I said, I'm taking some upsets here. There's no doubt. I mean, hey, the Vancouver's the worst here. It feels like Winnipeg has lost 12 of their last 15 on the road. They have beaten Vancouver in 8 of the last 10 meetings. 6 of the last 9 games for Winnipeg have gone under here. It feels like an over here for sure between these two teams. Maybe I should take the total since I haven't done one yet, but I think I've just committed myself to Vancouver here. For one night anyway, I'm going to take Vancouver here in this one over the Jets. All right, here we go. Over for Timmy Two Shoes. Under, though, for Andre. And Mr. Westwood says the Kings are bad. Well, I think they're, I expect them to uh, get back here. I think maybe they can still sneak back into the postseason contention here. And Cal Dog says Comrie will be in there. Yeah, you got to figure hell of a. Let's give the guy a night off, huh? Timmy says you've got Comrie and Jalapala in there. Talapala, isn't that something I eat at a Mexican restaurant? All right, one more, and then we're getting out of here. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here on Night Moves. Great 90 minutes of sports betting action with you. And thanks again to Justin for joining us tonight. One more here is the Oilers at the Ducks in this one. The Ducks at home. I'm going to go with all sides tonight. Wow. Edmonton had lost 3 straight coming into this one here, while Anaheim did win a couple in a row heading into the break. They beat VGK in Seattle. Edmonton was really in a tailspin there towards the end. They had not played well, lost to Minnesota, Toronto, and Calgary. And I'm going to go with Anaheim in this game. Give me the Ducks here to start it off. Ducks had won 5 straight at home, 9 of their last 11 overall. Edmonton kind of owns the series. They've won 12 of the last 16, although Anaheim's won 2 of the last 3. Edmonton and Anaheim have gone over in 7 of the last 9 games here in Anaheim. I mean, this has to be an over tonight, doesn't it? 15 of the last 19 meetings between the two teams have gone over, and the two teams are, 69 and 44 to the over overall, and Anaheim 17 and 9 to the over at home. So, look, this one's probably heading 4-3 range here for Anaheim. I'll take Anaheim here and probably get an over here. Probably go premium on that one. All right, that's going to do it here for Night Moves. Thank you so much, everybody. Great to have hockey back there. Well, we're going to look. We could have beat on those trends a little bit, but let's let the sauce settle here and simmer into the second half, right? And let's see what happens with these last couple of 20 games or so here at the end of the season. And hey, you want to say hello and thank you to Stixley in the chat. I don't look a day over 72. I feel 72, but I got a ways to go. Hopefully I'll make it to 72. Thank you, Stixley, for being here in the chat tonight. All right, thanks to everybody here in the chat for joining me on Night Moves. We'll be back tomorrow with more Night Moves. Preview the action for Thursday here. And thank you to Andre, Cal Dog, Timmy Two Shoes, Mr. Westers, the Night Moves crew in here tonight. Hopefully we start off the NHL second half with some winners. And I'll be firing away over at Tony'sPicks.com. I'm a little steamy after yesterday. Definitely gave away some units there yesterday. But, hey, I've got tennis action coming up here in the middle of the night. I think I've got maybe one premium in tennis tonight after getting beat on a couple of matches there yesterday. And also going to come back at it with some college baseball as well, and also college basketball, NBA, and some NHL here. We'll kind of go all over the board here with my premium picks tonight over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off those premium pick packages. You look at here with my still my record, pretty decent run here currently, 38 and 26 over the last 7 days. Last 30 days we're up 7 units. Last 7 days 9.5 units. They're my record in some of these sports for since the first of the year. NBA 12 and 5. Tennis 20 and 14, soccer 19 and 15. So, we'll take those records for sure. NHL, I'd hit a couple of winners as well right before the break there. So, look, these are some solid numbers here, and I'm going to come back at it with it today. I'm not going to let one day here stop this winning streak right now. We're getting right back on it here. I'll be up all night. I wish the Olympics were on so I could have some entertainment here while I'm handicapping these games and making some picks. But I'll do with tennis here. All right, that's going to do it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 60,000 subscriber juggernaut. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys in the chat here as well. We'll be back tomorrow with more Night Moves. All right. It's going to do it here for Night Moves. Appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow here and for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I'm Ramon Scott. Good night from Las Vegas.